Okay, we are live. We've done it. Okay. Good evening, everyone. We are on day 10 of the 10-day Sculpt and Tone Challenge. And if you have been wondering exactly what it's like inside the Backstage membership, then you're about to find out, because this evening I'm chatting with some of the Backstage members, three lovely ladies who are going to just talk very openly about their experience, why they joined, how they're getting on, the challenges they face, that kind of thing. So if you've got any questions that you want to ask these ladies, please post them below. And I'll ask the ladies those questions for you. I'm Sarah Aspinall, and I'm the founder of Breaking Ballet, the unique online ballet workout program for busy women. And I want to share with you tonight exactly what it's like inside the Backstage membership. So we've got this evening Megana and Helen and Jackie, who are all here to have a chat with you. I'm just going to check that this is live on the page and that I can see your comments if they're popping up just before we get going. There we are. Okay, so if anyone's got any comments, I can then see them there. Perfect. So, Helen, can we start with you? Could you just, introduce yourself, Helen, and just talk a little bit about you and your lifestyle and what life was like in terms of your health and fitness before you found Backstage?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. My name's Helen Marden. I came across Breaking Ballet on Facebook at a point where my body had kind of broken down. I've always exercised. I was a PE teacher. So exercising has been part of my life always. But I was doing a lot of running, which I love, but I hadn't realised that I was probably pushing it a bit too much. And eventually, to cut a long story short, my body decided it had enough. And so I couldn't do anything for 2 months. That was in November last year. And then in January, having rested for 2 months without much progress, I stumbled across one of Sarah's challenges on Facebook, which is exactly probably as you've done as well. And thought, oh, great, I can do that. It was something which I could do without making my problem any worse with my back, which is what the problem was. And I did the 5-day challenge and I absolutely got hooked, 100%. And it started off as just something that I could do to stop me feeling fed up because I couldn't exercise. But then as I've done the challenge, I realized that actually it was helping my situation. And I realized that my body was very unbalanced. I was very tight in lots of areas and very tight in the hips. And that was what was causing probably the problems. And I joined because I thought this is going to be a really good thing. It's going to not only exercise my body, but also benefit it in lots of other ways, which I wasn't giving it before. It was going to look after my body in a good way. So I didn't hesitate really in joining, because I was lucky that I hit a window when the membership was open, and I joined for the whole year. So I made a commitment to it and I haven't looked back since.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Helen. And I think a lot of people will relate to your story, particularly about your back. Lots and lots of people I know that have been coming into the challenge and joining the closed Facebook group where they have to ask questions. A lot of those questions have been about back pain. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people will relate to your story pre-Backstage. So thank you for that. Mm-hmm. Jackie, how about you? Could you just introduce yourself and let us know what you were up to before you joined Backstage?
Hi, I'm Jackie. I am 37. I've got 2 young kids. I think they're about the same age as Sarah's. I've got a 9-year-old boy, Sam, and a 6-year-old girl, Elle. Mm-hmm. And I event horses full-time, so I'm a full-time rider. And Mainly, I joined Backstage again, much like Helen and probably you ladies. I came across a challenge. I can't remember now if it was 5 or 10 days. Did ballet as a kid, hadn't touched it for years, obviously, but thought I'd kind of give it a go. It sounded like fun, and much like Helen and everybody else, I got hooked and thought it would be really, really useful, mainly for like my posture, because even though I ride, I trained for, oh God, about 8 years. I'm actually a vet as well, so I studied loads. And was very conscious that I'm a little bit hunchy. So I thought it'd be really useful for that, for my posture, especially in the dressage, and for my core, because obviously as a rider, you can't really have a good enough core. So that was my main kind of focus. And the other thing that massively appealed to me was the fact that in the challenge, they were just like 10-minute workouts. So for me, trying to find time between the horses and the kids and all the rest of it was pretty much impossible. And also, like, at the end of the day, I was generally too tired to do something, but it was actually something that I could get up a little bit earlier and just about squeeze in. So that was a massive, massive kind of draw to me. So yeah, and then also the other thing which came when I joined was the fact the nutrition side of things, because again, being horsey, quite often I'd skip breakfast, I'd skip lunch, and then I'd have an absolutely massive meal, couple of glasses of wine, and then realise that was my only hydration and my only nutrition. So yeah, joining back has been a really good thing for my nutrition as well. And also recently it's been really frustrating. Last month I fell off my horse and broke my back. And I
Can I just explain to people that you are actually sat on a football, which is why you're moving. So because Jackie has had this terrible accident and broken her back, she is, you know, sitting nice and tall on a comfortable football. In case people are wondering why your movement is a little different. But what's interesting, actually, Jackie, I keep thinking of you. There are so many riders that have joined this last challenge. I don't know if you've spotted them. But yeah, loads of riders have come in, which is great. So if any riders are watching this, then yeah, you need to listen to what Jackie's got to say. So thank you for that, Jackie. Megana, could you just give us a little introduction and what was going on with you before Backstage?
Sure. Hello, I'm Meghna. So I've been a member on Backstage almost for a year now. I actually got my reminder for renewal other day, and
fingers crossed.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to renew it. It's an amazing experience. I think I came across this again, like probably most of the people have on Facebook. It popped up, and I thought I'll give it a try. I was looking for doing something different into my exercise routine, which I had started about 3.5 years ago. And I've done ballet bar classes. So I used to go to a local class on Saturday and do it. But getting there every Saturday with trying to juggle around kids' activities was a bit of a chore. And when I came across the challenge, I tried it and I thought, I really like it. And I like the fact that I can choose the workouts, and I can either follow a plan or I can create my own plan, and I can do 15 minutes, I can do 45 minutes, depending on how much time I have at hand. I actually did the challenge 3 times before I signed up. I did 2 5-day challenges, and then I did a 10-day one, which was pretty similar to the Sculpt and Tone that you're doing now, Sarah. And I think what really hooked me onto it was the arms workout. And I thought, I've been doing weight training for 3 years. I haven't felt that in my arms. And I thought, no, I'm going to sign it up. So, and I have done it every week since then. I don't do it every day. I do it a couple of times a week because I still carry on with my HIIT workouts, with boot camp, with other strength workouts. Other thing I like about this is that I can do it in the evening. So if I'm tired, I haven't done my workouts in the morning, I still look forward to doing this in the evening. And
Do you work, don't you, Megana?
yes,
Do
I
you,
do. I work full time in London.
yeah. So you're
So
juggling quite a lot.
yeah, and I've got a 10-year-old and 6-year-old, and 10-year-old is sitting through his secondary entrance exam in September. So people in UK would know about it. I think rest of the world, it probably doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense why a 10-year-old would sit through it.
Yeah. Just know
Oh,
it's stressful. Yeah.
yeah, so but it helps me being mindful as well. I think if I'm really tired, many times I just do a 15-minute workout and I feel so much more energetic and calm. I have seen changes in my body. I have seen I've toned up more. I have my postures improve, which I didn't think could improve more than what it had with 3 years of exercise, but it did improve. And I felt with their stretches and even normal workouts, my body just opened up. It became so much more flexible. And I think one thing which I don't think I've shared it on the last live, but I get full body massage done from time to time, and the lady who does it, she actually said to me when she did it second time, have you been not doing workouts or your exercises because you haven't got as many knots? But
I've
I
had
was,
experience
yeah,
during my sports massage. So yeah.
Sorry, you cut out a little bit then, Jackie. Could you just repeat that?
I had the same thing. The guy my sports massage, I had every 2 months, and I went to the chiropractor to keep me going. And it was amazing because normally I'm like ouching and screaming, and But it wasn't too bad at all for me.
So sorry, Megana, go on.
Yeah, and so what I was saying was it actually has a lot more benefits than what we see, just physically and visibly. So like not having, I work in IT, so I'm always in front of computers, and getting knots in my shoulders is not something unusual for me, but reduce number of knots is definitely due to ballet and due to increased fitness and flexibility in my body. And I've suffered from push vertebra again, like Helen, it was when I started running, it aggravated it. But with ballet workouts, I think that's got better, and I can actually do running. I can do trail running to an extent now, as long as I'm careful of the precautions that I need to take. And it has improved my form, and it has improved my strength in traditional workouts.
That's
So there
great.
there are weeks when I don't do the traditional workouts just because I'm tired. It's time of the month. I have too much on, and I will just keep up with ballet workouts. And after a week or 2 weeks, when I come back to traditional workouts, I don't lose any of my fitness.
Yeah, that's great. And I know you're short on time this evening, Megana. So if someone's sitting on the fence currently that's watching and isn't quite sure whether to join Backstage or not, what would you say to them?
I would say, don't think, just join it. Yeah, and you wouldn't regret it.
Yeah.
I think people think, I think it's, for some people, it could be a lot of money to do annual. The way I chose to do annual, there were a couple of reasons for it. One, I'm committed for the full year. Two, it financially, I think when I did the calculation, if I'm paying it in one go, it's actually working out cheaper than monthly. And third, even a monthly membership of, I think it's £20 a month, £19 a month, Sarah?
Yeah, $19.99, yeah.
Yeah, so that is cheaper than going to a class locally. And a local class, I'm not sure about rest of the world, but I know like in London, it could be easily £20 an hour or £25. Where I live, little outskirts of London, it's £15 for an hour class. And it's a no-brainer for me. And I think your support on the Backstage member community is always there and so pragmatic, and you pick up on any questions anyone asks and you try and help. I think I had questions about some of the stretches I couldn't do because of my back, and you picked it up on one of your Friday lives and demonstrated that. What I could do instead, or what are the alternatives I could follow. And you're always responsive. I've never had, when I've posted something asking a question, not had a response in an hour or two.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Morgana. That's really helpful, because I know that there are some people, I've had some questions from people saying, you know, can I just join for 1 month and see if I want to carry on? And it's interesting hearing you saying the reason you signed up for the 12 months is because you were then committed. And I think, you know, it's the mindset that you arrive into Backstage, whether the mindset is, kind of give it a go, you know, and I talked about that yesterday. You can't sort of kind of get your health back on track. So you've got to be committed either way, which is really interesting to hear about, you know, your reasoning behind the 12 months, other than the financial side of it as well. But also thank you for sharing with people that I am actually quite hands-on inside the membership. I know in some other fitness programs, people come and then, you know, the leader sort of disappears and doesn't really do anything, but I am hands-on. I want people to succeed. And in order for them to do that, I need to be present. So thank you for that. Jackie, could you your situation is slightly different in that, you know, you've just mentioned that you had your horse riding accident. How long ago was that now? 6 weeks?
No, 4 weeks and 1 day.
4 weeks. So do you want to talk to us about sort of your experience inside Backstage before that accident and then since?
Yeah, no, of course. So it's probably been the first exercise program I've done that I've ever managed to commit to. Like I said before, I think that's because of the 10-minute slots. But also, I think like the support community is like amazing. And the thing is, you never feel pressurized. Like if you're feeling rubbish, or you miss a day, or something hurts, or you've got to have a couple of weeks off, there's no kind of like, you're not made to feel like you're a failure or anything. And I think that's what kind of keeps me coming back. And I've actually felt more committed since I've had the accident, because I've had the support of all these lovely ladies, and I kind of explored the nutrition side of things, which perhaps I kind of neglected a little bit when I was kind of in full health and riding. So yeah, it's been actually nice to see Backstage from like a different angle. But yeah, I would definitely recommend anybody, because like I say, what with the mindset and the nutrition, it's not just about exercise, you know, that dreaded word that everybody seems to hate. It's a real all-round thing that kind of, no matter what your situation, you can get benefit from.
Yeah, and I think the difference is that the focus, I feel anyway, inside Backstage is on health. It's focusing on, you know, I talked about this in one of my previous lives, which is, what is your why power? Why exactly have you decided to come into Backstage? And you need to nail that down. And if you can find your why power, and you know that that's health related, I recently did talk about that. Jackie, you were there when I did that. I did one of my lives, my weekly Q&A, and we were talking about why power. And I got really emotional because I was talking about my why power. I'm quite a private person, but I kind of let go a little bit on that one. And Jackie was there cheering me on. So thank you for that. But it is a wonderfully supportive community. It just seems to attract the most lovely, kind, giving women. And particularly in Jackie's situation, where, you know, you've gone through the mill. And, you know, you were going great guns with your exercise and then had the accident and couldn't, you know, it's incredibly frustrating. But we then did, instead of doing a workout challenge, we did a healthy eating challenge so that Jackie could get involved. And that was really fun, and everyone did very well. So, you know, one other thing actually someone asked me today was, what about if I want, have you got this inside Backstage? Have you got this inside Backstage? And I was explaining to them that I'm always asking for feedback from the members, and perhaps Jackie, you could talk a little bit about that it's not just me putting content in and saying, there you go, you need to do that it is a two-way process.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember one thing you brought in recently, I believe, I haven't looked it out, is like a cardio workout, which I'm one of the people that hates cardio, so I avoid that if I possibly can. But like, yeah, everybody's different, and you've always taken on board anything that's still. I think one of my suggestions was some more healthy chocolate puddings.
And I put it in. I put it in. Did you notice? If you look in the snacks, the quick start snacks.
Oh, is there more?
There's chocolate in there.
Oh, I got to look at it too.
Yeah, you've got. It's in the quick start snacks. There's chocolate in there, ladies. You need to.
I didn't remember. Is it on yours, Sarah? Blueberries with dark chocolate chips as a snack.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
I'm a chocolate addict, so yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think when Jackie was talking about her reason, I think one other thing I remembered, which I thought would be useful for others to know, is with the ballet workouts, if I have had a slight injury, I could, as long as I'm careful, I could always carry on doing the workouts with other parts of the body without hurting that particular part. And I have done that. I think can't remember now what did I do, whether it was my shoulder. Yes, I did. Yes, you've got a good memory. Yeah. So I hurt my ankle, and I could still carry on with abs and arms and upper body workouts. And that means that I'm not actually sacrificing on my fitness. I'm just focusing on different aspects of it.
Yeah, there's always something that you can do. And I always say, focus on what you can do, not on what you can't. And that's absolutely, you really did in that situation. But, you asked for help and said, this is what's happened. I can't really stand up. What can I do? And so we worked it out. So there is always something that you can do. Absolutely. Thank you for reminding us of that.
Yeah. And else, I think the other thing is, because it doesn't need, like with most other workouts, other than if you're doing running or walking, a lot of other workouts need something like even dumbbells or something, but all of these workouts need absolutely nothing. I've been on holiday and still done it a few times during that time, because I just crave for some strength workout and just do it in a hotel room on the carpet.
And stretching actually is also a lovely thing to do when you're on holiday. It's really nice. So I've done that.
Yeah, I think one of the workouts that stretching you have inside the Backstage is de-stressing with your friend who's a yoga expert.
Yes.
And that's amazing. I think sometimes when I feel under the weather, as in slightly depressed, I do that, and it helps. It really helps to release the stress for me. And as long as I've got my because I'm susceptible to mild depression. So as long as I've got it early on and I've done all these coping mechanisms, it just helps me immensely to come out of it.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. That's lovely to hear, Morgana. Helen, sorry, I feel like we've neglected you a little bit. Helen, could you talk to us a little bit about, I know you talked about the struggling with your back issue before Backstage with your running and everything. So what's your experience of Backstage? Someone has a couple of questions, so I'll throw the questions there as well. You can perhaps weave that into your answer. Alison's asking, she says, thanks for your honesty and your stories, ladies. What's the one biggest area between Sarah's options of workout, eating and well-being have you noticed the most progress in? And then Nina has asked, what are the physical differences you've seen? Inch loss, flexibility, toning, that kind of thing. So, Helen.
In terms of the three areas, I think Obviously, when I first started the ballet workouts, I couldn't do much at all. And I was just having to do what I could, a bit like Nagana when she was injured. But within 2 weeks, I saw a difference in my posture, my abdominals toned up unbelievably quickly, much quicker than I ever imagined would be possible. I was quite skeptical, I suppose, at first, that 15 minutes could do what it actually does. So yeah, particularly my lower abdominals. I thought my abdominals were strong before I started breaking ballet, but no, I realized they weren't as strong as I thought they were. But my lower abdominals, having learned how to engage them properly, which is the really important part that Sarah teaches you at the beginning, that builds such a fantastic base to work from, because all the workouts you do from there, particularly the abdominal ones, work because you're using the right muscles. And I found that my lower abdominals never really were very toned or flat, but now I have noticed much flatter lower stomach, so that's been amazing. Obviously, mobility and flexibility, I've noticed since I've had my back problem. I was really tight in the hamstrings, my hips were really locked. Now it's completely different. I'm much more mobile, I'm more flexible. So that the workout side, I mean, the benefits are just incredible. I joined in January this year, so we're now in June, and I feel so much stronger mentally and physically. I can't imagine not doing my workouts in the morning now. And I think that's one of the biggest things in terms of the way I use the membership, is that it very quickly builds the habit. And if you're going to stick to a fitness program, whatever it may be, you have to gain a habit. And because I follow the plan, the monthly calendar now, religiously, I know exactly what I'm doing. And I genuinely go to bed and I can't wait for the alarm to go off in the morning so I can do it.
Brilliant. And how's your back now?
Well, I'm back to running. I'm cycling. I'm doing everything that I wanted to do before, but it's definitely more balanced. And the ballet helps me to do everything I want to do. I honestly don't believe, and I say this totally sincerely, I don't believe I would be doing what I'm doing now had I not done the ballet from January to now. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's allowed me to strengthen in the places I needed to strengthen up in, particularly legs, and my back muscles were really weak. I'd never trained my back muscles until working with Sarah, with you. And that is one of the areas that I still have to work on. It's a work in progress, definitely. But it's certainly helped my back situation, and it's not an issue really now anymore at all. And that's not having had any treatment very much at all. I have a monthly sports massage, which is one of the things that, again, Sarah, you've helped me realise that is part of looking after your body.
Yeah, that's something that I do every month without fail. Yeah,
it's a holistic approach I love, because having worked as a PE teacher and loving health and fitness, that was a massive plus for me, because actually I was thinking I was doing that, but when I started joining and realizing that there was the mindset area and the nutrition area, and particularly the hydration, I realized I really wasn't looking after my body as well as I probably thought I was. So the hydration area was and still is, as Sarah, I know I've told you several times. Again, that's work in progress, but I have improved, and I know definitely that I'm drinking a lot more water than I was before. So that's another area that I definitely.
And can you feel the difference?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not as tired. I feel thirsty for the first time ever. I never felt thirsty until I started thinking about hydration since joining Breaking Ballet. My skin's better. Yeah, definitely noticed a difference in that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, if anybody is thinking they're not sure, I would definitely say the same as Megana. I have absolutely no regrets. I cannot honestly imagine my life without it now. So
don't start me off. I'm going to get emotional again.
Sorry. It sounds a bit. I don't want to come across really cheesy, but it's honestly the best thing I've ever joined, best thing I've ever done. And I agree with Jackie as well. I joined thinking it was just the workouts. I had no idea how much was involved with the membership and how much additional extra you get. It's not just the workouts, it's the whole package. It's the communication with all the ladies, it's the accessibility of Sarah, it's the access to all the fantastic mindset tools, all the nutritional advice, and everything's there for you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is access it, and it's all there. And every single day you can do something positive. And every single day, if you do one of those things, you're improving your health and your fitness. And so it's a win-win, really.
No, thank you, Helen. But also you've got to remember that it's you that's done that. You know, all I can do is provide you with the strategies and the workouts and say, you know, this is what I think you should be doing. But ultimately, it's you that has achieved all of that. So you should be incredibly proud of yourself at bringing yourself from where you were back in December all the way to where you are now. So well done.
Thank you. But I think also the structure that helps you do that, because
yeah,
I agree. I think having a structure makes it easier to
definitely
follow. And I think the new calendar, I like that because it's got highlights of workouts based on different abilities, and that helps so that the beginners don't go in and think, oh, I got to do so much. Yeah.
I've got some more questions. Well, Erin's joined us. Erin is actually one of our members, and she's answering some questions here. She says, to answer the above questions, the biggest physical change for me are toning and core strength. When you're in this program over time, it will help you gain a broader vision for all aspects of your health, and you will find help with accountability if you need it. Also, she says, it's nice to see you, Helen, Megana, and Jackie.
Hello, Erin.
Hi, Erin.
Tracy, I can't seem to get into the abdominal and get them working. Must be doing it wrong, as not felt as if they're hurting like others have. So Tracy, that may well be because you're recruiting other muscles in your body. If the abdominals are still a little bit weak, you could be recruiting your hip flexors, your glutes, your back. So if you come inside Backstage, that is something, you know, we go back to basics. On one of the lives, I can walk you through, because it benefits everyone to do these basic exercises, to get you really, really feeling those muscles. There's a really good breathing exercise that helps you identify exactly where the deep core muscles are so that you know when you're using them correctly. So we can work on that. Nina says, thank you, Helen, for your answer. It's so good to hear your health is getting better. Inna, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. She says, hi, ladies. Thank you for sharing your experience. I have a question for Sarah. What happened if I join for 3 months first, and after 3 months, would I be able to pay for a year with a discount or not? Yes, you can. You can swap between the plans. That's no problem. She said, Nina says, thank you for saying about your back issues. I have them too, and hoping Backstage will help to tone, stretch and strengthen mine. So yeah, you know, as I say, so many ladies have back issues. And I think that's years of sitting at a desk, or, you know, carrying ourselves in perhaps not the best way. If you've had children, you know, carrying one toddler on your hip while you're trying to do something else. You know, we're hardcore. Women do a lot, and then we end up in, you know, having aches and pains, but it doesn't have to be that way. Tracy, I've also followed your 10-day meal plan, and all the exercises has made me think about nutrition. I'm going through the menopause. Will this all still help if I join Backstage? Absolutely, definitely. And I think women in your 40s and 50s, you do have to adapt to your changing body. And we do talk about that a lot, because actually most of us, other than Jackie, who is a young whippersnapper at 37, yeah, most of us are headed in that direction. So, you know, I think it helps to be in a community where people understand that. We can share ideas, what's working, what's not working. But a lot of, you know, issues with the menopause, it is about calming our bodies down. Meditation's fantastic for it, breathing techniques. So the mindset toolbox would be really, really good for you, alongside the healthy eating and backstage, the workouts as well. Have any of you got any comments about the sort of perimenopause, menopause, anything hormone related that you want to share in terms of backstage helping with that? I mean,
I don't think I said how old I was in the beginning, did I?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm 54 this year.
Wow.
So I would say, oh, thank you.
You don't.
So I would say it definitely helps. I think I've been reasonably lucky in terms that I haven't had many menopausal symptoms, but I am through the menopause now.
Hooray!
Yeah, but I think I got off quite lightly, but I know it can be a real problem. And I would say, because this is such a holistic approach and addresses your whole body, it's a celebration of what your body can do, basically. I can only say that can only benefit if you're going through any menopause symptoms, and especially in terms of talking about sleep and stress and everything, all those things which we have to put up with alongside all the menopause symptoms that we go through. I think it can only be a positive thing to do.
Yeah.
Sarah, can I add? I think you did the healthy eating challenge inside the member community recently, and the way you started it, you had hormone balancing meal plan in it. I think so. I haven't followed the plan specifically word to word, so I can't say whether that works for me or not. But I think a lot of things on the plan or healthy eating, I follow it on a general basis in my eating. But I think I just want to make a point that there is support available, and there would be people who have been through it, and they could help and guide and support. But also, other thing is, I think it would help build lots of muscle mass, which helps because one thing that menopause does is it start reducing the calcium absorption in the body. And if you build up your muscles, muscle mass and the strength, then that helps to actually fight that in the longer run.
Yeah, absolutely. And also with hot flushes and things like that some women go through with the menopause, there are mini relaxation techniques inside that mindset toolbox. And there's lots of research that can suggest practicing those techniques help to reduce the frequency of the hot flushes. That's something I've been looking at more recently. So yeah, absolutely. I hope that answers your question. Sorry,
can I butt in? I just want to say, going back to the hormones and stuff again, obviously I haven't been exercising now for coming up 5 weeks, and for the first time this month, I've noticed PMT coming back again, whereas beforehand it had been a lot, I barely even noticed it. So I reckon definitely with your workouts, they definitely helped me. PMT.
Yeah, reducing the symptoms. That's really interesting. Yeah, thank you. More questions. Morgana, I know you may need to go. If you do need to go, then please go. Don't feel you have to hold on. But
sure,
let me know.
Thank you.
You need to go. Thank you so much for coming and joining us and sharing your experience. I think so many ladies are going to benefit from hearing what you've just said. So thank you
so much. Thank you so much for inviting me to share it. Thanks. Hope it goes well. And we have lots more members in the community. That'd be great.
Yes, it would.
Thanks.
Thanks, Morgana.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Nicola, quick question. I joined Backstage for a month only because I would have wanted to sign up for a year but couldn't make the one-off payment. Do I have to pay $19.99 a month therefore for the foreseeable future? Yeah, so it depends what plan you sign up for, Nicholas. If you've signed up for the monthly plan, it's a recurring $19.99 per month until you cancel. So for example, if you decide after the first month, actually, I do want to continue, but you can't afford to do that for 12 months, you could decide to choose a 3-month plan to save yourself some money for the following 3 months, because it works out at £16.66 or something. So that might be a better way of doing that for you. It's up to you and how your cash flow's working, but that's definitely an option. I think that's all the questions that we have. If anyone's got any more questions, then please drop them below now. Otherwise, you can drop them on the replay and, we can get back to you. But I just want to say thank you so much, ladies, for joining us and sharing your experience. It's really, really kind of you. I know how daunting coming on video is. When I first set out years ago and, brought my experience online, seeing myself, let alone hearing myself and talking on it, it was just terrifying. I've got used to it now. But I really appreciate, I know it's not always a nice thing to do, but I appreciate you having the courage to do that and doing it with grace and sharing your experience. So it was so interesting for me as well to meet you face to face and hear your stories and listen to your experience. And it's really exciting to hear the amazing changes that are happening in our members' lives. And we hope that you will come and join us. Enrollment is open for Backstage. I'll drop the link below, but it closes at midnight on Sunday. And that is a hard deadline. People are already asking me, can I extend it for another week for their payday and things? I'm sorry, I can't, because the reason I close it is so that my focus then turns from the challenge and, nurturing everyone through that experience to my members. That's why it only opens 3 times a year, so that I can focus, because I am hands-on inside the membership. So I can't be doing too many things at the same time. So it does close at midnight on Sunday. So if you are thinking of joining us, please don't wait too long. And we hope to see you inside Backstage soon. And so that we can support you through this wonderful, wonderful program. So have either of you got anything else you'd like to say before we leave? No,
I'd just like to say thanks, Sarah, for the opportunity.
Thank you both. I will speak to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you, ladies. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.